Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be finally filming the sit down kind of talk through about my labor and delivery, and also answering some of the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. So just grab a snack because I feel like this one's actually going to be pretty long because I'm going to talk about my whole experience. So hopefully I'm not all over the place, but I just want to really, like, if you see me like looking around and not really look at the camera, just I'm really trying to reminisce back on the day. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but still, it's just when you're in pain and you're like kind of really going through everything. I feel like it was very long, but yet it was a long few days, but it happened also very quickly. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, so first things first, if you guys watched the vlog, you know that my water broke at 3:30 a.m. So that morning I woke up and I just like woke up like out of my sleep randomly. I felt like I had peed on myself, and then I woke up and I was like, and I felt like a little bit more pee. And then again, I said there, I was like, maybe I'm tripping, or like maybe I'm having a dream where you know those dreams where you're dreaming of going to the bathroom, but then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, I actually have to go to the bathroom. But so then the third time I felt a little bit more, and I was like, okay, no, like maybe my water broke, I don't know. So I got up and I felt a little bit more pee, so like 4 times I felt a little bit pee. This is as I'm walking to the bathroom the 4th time. So like I'm gonna open the door, and I really wanted to wake my mom up, but I was like, no, like it's really early in the morning. She was gonna go to work, obviously, because we didn't have that plan. This is, mind you, the 12th? Yeah, the 12th. So I was like, let me go to the bathroom first and see, like maybe I just need to pee or something. Especially when you're pregnant and you're that far along, like the baby's head is pretty much pushing down on you. So sometimes even if you sneeze, you might pee a little bit. That never happened to me personally, but I've heard stories. So anyways, I went to the restroom, and as soon as I pulled down my underwear, it literally just like whoosh, a whole gush of water just came on. I was like, and usually when you're pregnant, you already have discharge, so I was already using panty liners. So the panty liner was literally just soap. Like it literally just, it's clear water. It literally just looks like people are like, oh, what does it look like, what does it feel like? It literally just feels like water. So I was like, wow. So I was gonna get up to go actually wake my mom up now, and I couldn't. I got up and it was just like going. So I'm like calling, I'm like, mom. She's like, mind you, the bathroom is like next door to her room, so the wall is the only thing separating the bathroom from her room. And I'm calling her, she's not responding. My dad sleeps closer to the door, so I'm like, dad, they're not responding to me. So I'm like freaking out. And then I wanted to knock on the wall, but my dog, normally if you knock, she thinks someone's at the door, so she'll start barking. So I didn't want to do that. I was late at night/morning. So one more time I was like, mom, and then she's like, what? And I was like, my water broke. And she's like, what? Your water broke? And like her voice just sounded like excited, but like scared and nervous. I don't know. It was just that tone of voice where you're like, I guess, shocked. So she got up, and then I was like, yeah, it's definitely my water. Like, there's no doubt about it. So then I asked her to get, like, if you've seen my hospital bag, you know, like I got those little diaper things. I had her get me one of those. That way, you know, as we go to the hospital, I wasn't just like leaking. So put one of those on. We left. I put like a quick little jumpsuit together. I honestly thought they were going to send me back home. I did not know. This was my first, obviously, pregnancy. I didn't know if my water broke, they were going to keep me. And let me tell you, Sebastian's already in trouble, because that day I had a nail appointment and a toe appointment. And then Friday I was supposed to go. This was Wednesday. Friday I was supposed to go to European Wax Center. So I didn't make it into any of those things, and I'm upset. The only thing I had done was my eyelash extensions at the time, so I was kind of okay. And I got there and they're like, girl, you're not even going home. They literally told me that. The front desk girls were like, girl, well, let me tell you, you're not going home. I had 2 broken nails, so I was even more upset. But anyways, beside the point. So we get there. They're telling me that they're literally going to have to pretty much make him come out within 24 hours. So what happens is when your water breaks, they kind of have like a time frame to get him out, because your placenta can get infected, and obviously all that liquid can, like if you run out of the liquid, it's bad for the baby, because that's literally what they live in. So I got there and they connected me to the IV. They did all that like normal stuff. They set me in. We waited, and my ultimate goal was to obviously not get the epidural. I was trying to go fully natural. So after about, I was fine as far as like contractions. Like I was super happy. I was still eating because as soon as you get the epidural, you cannot eat and you cannot drink. They literally only let you chew on ice. And one of the nurses I had, she actually let me eat Jello because I guess the way it's processed, I don't know. So I had like 2 Jellos during because I was starving. Like starving. It's an understatement. Like I was so excited to eat food after. But anyways, that's more along the way. So they were like, since we have that time frame to get the baby out, we need to start your contractions. So they induced me, and I was totally fine with that. So how the induction, I believe that's the word, works is, mine personally was, they go up to level 20, and my nurse was doing it by every 2 even, so she was going by even numbers. So I was going by 2, 4, keep going. I was going all the way up, and I was totally fine until I made it about to 10 or 12. I was like, between 10 and 12, I couldn't take the contractions any longer. They were really bad. Before that, I was totally fine. Like, labor for me was long, but I was comfortable. I wasn't in pain until the actual contractions were coming. And when the contractions would come, obviously I would just like, they would tell me to breathe and stuff. It's hard to breathe when you're like literally in that much pain. Some people's experiences are different. They come in with just contractions and they're already in pain from the start. That was not the case for me. So when I did get the contractions, I was totally fine, like I said, until about the 12th level. And I was like, I think I'm gonna get the epidural. Like I can't anymore. And this was about into 17 hours of labor already. And they came in to check me 2 different times, and by the second time she was still like, you're only, I think she said 2.5 to maybe, I think she said almost 3 centimeters, which is not far for being 17 hours into labor already. And like I said, that time frame was in the back of my mind, like, we got to get him out, because obviously I didn't want anything to happen to him or I. So, and like I said, pain was excruciating already. So I ended up getting the epidural, and let me tell you, that was the best not a best experience ever, but like the best decision, should I say, that I made, because after that it was smooth sailing from there on out. I literally could not feel one thing. It even got to the point where, so after the 17, I want to go back a little bit. So after the 17 and a half hours of labor, and I got the epidural, after that, I guess they gave me the peanut ball. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Prior to that, I was just using a regular yoga ball, and I was like bouncing on it or whatever to try to open, but I obviously didn't. So once I got the epidural, you're not even allowed to get up either, because you cannot feel from your legs down. So they gave me the peanut ball in the bed, and oddly enough, I was still able to not really feel my legs, but I was still able to move myself and like open my legs around the peanut ball. So that helped me open up to all the centimeters I needed to be. That was, I think, at 7 or 8 p.m. At night on the 12th. So then the 13th came, midnight, the morning. I had him at 8:57 in the morning on the 13th. And I pushed for about, so actually I believe that was one of the questions that someone asked me on Instagram. Let me see. So yeah, that was one of the questions I got asked by Queen Val, and she asked, how long did you push for? And I believe I pushed for, honestly, at that point, like I'm telling you, the epidural was smooth sailing. I did not feel any of my contractions. I didn't even know when to push, that I had to tell them when to tell me to push. Like, I can't see my screen. It's like right, it was like right, it's kind of next to me but behind me, if that makes sense. So I'm like looking forward at everyone in my view, and I'm like, I can't feel anything. I'm like laughing, I'm talking, like that's what, such a great mood I was in. So they were telling me like, oh, you're having a good traction, and then I would push. Oh, I also forgot to mention, prior to the epidural, because I was really like not against it, but like for myself, I wanted to like try to hold off on it as long as I could. I did get like this thing, I don't know if anyone knows what it's called, but they injected through my IV, and it literally made me feel like I was super, super high. Like I just got it and I was like insane, like and it like made me chill out and less pain. I was in less pain, but only for, I think, maybe about 30 minutes to an hour at most, what it felt like. So it didn't even last long, and then the contractions came back. So that's why I decided to get the epidural. And then what else? So and then it said, okay, so Queen Val also asked, how were you so chill before epidural, like I explained, I didn't have any pain like that. It was just weird. Everyone's experience is different, and thank God mine was chill for such a long time. So after I finally pushed him out towards the last, I think, 3 hours, I had already surpassed the 24-hour period that they typically want to get the baby out in. I passed it by about 4 hours. So about the end of my, when it actually came down to the end of the delivery, his heartbeat was actually like high, and I was getting a fever, and I believe he had a fever already inside. I know when he came out he had a fever as well. I don't know if he had one inside. That I actually don't call. I'm pretty sure, because so what happens is once you run out of the liquid and it's like you're pretty much past that time frame. Sometimes the time frame can go a little bit longer than 24 hours, but it just kind of depends on the liquid you're leaking and all that. So we were already past that time. They typically wanted to get him out. So when it came time to push, the doctor finally came in, and I'm pushing, and I don't know how many pushes I took to actually push him out. That I don't think anybody counted. But so at the very, very end, once he was already about to come out, I pushed, and his head got stuck about midway. So they had me push one more time, and my doctor went in and like pulled him out, because like I said, of his heartbeat and both of our temperatures. At that point, I believe my placenta was already infected because of that. So it was unfortunate, but the good thing was that I didn't have to get a C-section, which obviously I have nothing against C-sections. At the end of the day, it's what's best for you and the baby. But I was really obviously terrified, I'm sure, as many other women are. So yeah, like, because we were already going through that whole fever, and like I had shakes, and like I even had like a freezing cold towel. Like they were dipping it in ice for me. They were putting it on. I was like literally shaking. This was all about the last 4 or 5 hours before I actually gave birth to him. It was like downhill for me, my body. Like I was just shaking. It was weird. Like I was shaking like I was cold, but yeah, I had a fever. And so they were trying to cool me off, make me relax, so that way his heartbeat didn't rise. And as I'm pushing, every time I would push, his heartbeat would rise. So they were honestly really just trying to get him out as quickly and safely as possible. And we did that. So, or I did that, should I say. And the doctor obviously helped. And that was another question who asked that. So it says, Queen Val also asked, I don't know if this is personal to share, but did you need to get stitches down there? So I actually did. I never asked, and it's not personal. I mean, I want to be as raw and honest as possible, because I know people are, what is it, the question? People are, they're curious, they want to know. And that was totally me before I gave birth. I was watching every video. I was asking people who already gave birth. I was asking people that I knew, like at work, at friends, moms. Like I would ask everyone's story because I want to know. But honestly, at the end of the day, everyone's experience and story is so different, because now that I've actually gave birth myself, I can say out of all the stories I heard, mine was its own story. Like it's just truly up to your body and your baby. At the end of the day, your baby calls the shots. So his due date was originally the 19th, 20th, and I had the 13th. So like I said, baby calls the shots. So back to the stitches question. Yeah, since my doctor went in, since the whole fever and the whole time frame thing, when he went in to get him, I don't know if the baby actually ripped me or the doctor did, because I'm telling you, he went in with his hands and I grabbed him. Don't know, don't really care. At the end of the day, to me, it was just we both came out safe. And his fever obviously went away after. They were checking him rectical. I don't know if I'm saying that right. For fever every hour after he was born. And so I had him about like 9 in the morning. By I guess like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, his fever had already went away, which I was super glad about. And my fever instantly went away as well. So they did, because of the whole placenta and fever thing, they did require us to stay an extra day. So instead of leaving Friday, we ended up leaving, which was Valentine's Day, we ended up leaving Saturday, which I was totally fine with. The nurses there are super helpful. Although you don't really get much sleep because there's nurses in and out for either I or the baby. I mean, overall it was a good experience. The beds, not the vibe. I was so uncomfortable. You would think like there's like little electrical things and a remote and all that, and you get like your food brought to you and all that, but the bed, I was just not comfortable. I think mostly because you're also in pain, obviously, from all that stuff and the medicine. You're just, I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable overall. Anyways, so now I'm gonna just start answering some of the questions. So, did you want to pull your baby out at the end? My friend Ellie asked this. No, I actually did not. That was not anything I think I really thought of. I think I was in such a good mood that I probably could have if I wanted to, but to be honest, like with all the medication, you're just like relaxing everything, like to bend in and like grab it, like, and I think because of the whole situation, like I mentioned, I don't even think they would have let me. And as far as the umbilical cord, they didn't even let Ryan cut that right on the spot. They had to literally take him out and put him, they like sucked all the stuff off of him, they flipped him upside down, and he didn't cry for about like a good, I don't know, I would say what I personally think is like 20 seconds, which is kind of long because usually they pull him out and they like cry instantly. But I don't know if they slapped his butt or whatever they do, but it took him quite a few seconds to cry. So they took him to the incubator, and then they like, you know, I don't know what they did. Honestly, I was just like there still getting stitches, and everyone was like by the incubator just waiting to see what was going on. So they had cut the umbilical cord already, like when I gave birth to him, and then they had Ryan, but they left a good amount of space, I guess. Well, Ryan said it was a little bit of space, but they left space, and then they let him cut it closer to his belly button over there on the incubator. This is a story that they're all telling me because, mind you, I'm still literally laying there trying to get stitched up. So then another question was my Nina Valmat Jewel 4 asked, did you tell Ryan don't touch me during a contraction? Yes. Even my mom, it's like you're in so much pain. I wasn't like mean, but I was just like, no, please, like, because I didn't want to be like that moody ass, she knows. So I was like, oh no, like I was like try to breathe through it and get through it myself. So yeah, that's the story for that. Who was in the room with me during, I think that was one of the questions. Let me see. Okay, so I was looking through the questions. That was not one of the questions I thought it was asked. But so in the room with me, I literally just had baby daddy Ryan. I had my mom and my grandma with me. I really wanted my aunt to be in there, but there was only a limit of 3 people, which was very unfortunate, but it's fine, whatever. And my mom was super terrified to be there anyway. She's very like grossed out by things, and she's like, I'll just be in the back by your head or like on the side in the corner or something. I was like, Mom, you're not a water boy. Like you cannot just be standing there from behind the lines. Like, no, like I need you there. But she said once she started actually seeing his head come out that she was like not grossed out. I guess maybe she thinks because I was her daughter, so she was like actually amazed, and so she kind of went in more to see. But overall, my coach was my grandma, and she was counting for me and telling me when to push and stuff like that, and I couldn't thank that lady enough. So like my mom, still call her mom by the way. And then Ryan was just there more to like soothe me and like give me the wet towel, stuff like that too, and like kind of calm me more, especially when the shakes kicked in and all that. And then so what other questions? How was the pain after labor? It wasn't really painful. It's just like from all the medication and all that, your body's just like worn out. Like pushing wise, it's really just tiring overall. I wouldn't say too painful. Down there, yeah, it kind of burns when you pee a little bit. After, they do give you like a little water bottle and like some spray to like help all of that. Especially I got the stitching, I feel like maybe made it a little worse. And I did have them natural. Obviously, I didn't mention that, but I don't know if it was obvious. And then, what else? What was I gonna say? Honestly, I would do it all over again if it happens exactly the same way. Just that people were telling me to be extremely active during, or like as far as like walking and stuff. You could still go to the gym, and since I was already a gym freak before, I should have kept going, but I didn't. As I got pregnant, I kind of just stopped. I didn't really do a lot of walking, so I feel like that's also why my labor ended up being 28 and a half hours total. But I would say like I'd do it, like I would have another baby if it would go the same way, just because they were like, after the epidural, I was like chilling, like it was totally a vibe. But I wish I would have gotten the epidural just so the epidural takes also, I forgot to mention, an hour to actually kick in. So because I was already pretty much in excruciating pain, I wish I would have got it an hour prior, so that when it actually kicked in, it was like at that point where like I couldn't take it anymore. But they're like, oh, wait till you do the pushing, that's gonna be the worst part, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I would say the pushing was pretty easy, because I'm telling you, I didn't feel my contractions or anything. So when I was pushing, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like the stretching, his head, none of that. I did feel at one point like where TMI, but like my doctor was like kind of pushing on the bottom of that area, and that was pretty much it. But it was like very small tugging, like, because you're literally so numb from your bottom down. So if the question to y'all is what happened to the kid, it would probably be yes, as long as it went the same way. And I got epidural again. So, and then so now I'm just gonna answer the pure questions, because I feel like I got most of the other stuff out of the way. What were your first words to your son? And that's by Roxana Banana. I actually don't think I actually said it out loud. I think I said it in my head and I just said, wow, I love you. But there was really no words. It was more an emotion. And they gave them to me after the incubator. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do skin to skin right after, which, like I said, it was unfortunate, but it was for the safety and health of both of us. So when they did give them back to me, I literally just started crying. And it's going to make me cry right now. But I do have pictures of that. And it was just an emotional feeling. Like, and he was so white when he came out. And I'm like, kind of caramel, so I was like super surprised. Like, it's that moment, like, wow, this is my son, like, this is my human, like, I gave birth to this, I was holding this for like 9-10 months. It's just a whole crazy experience that you literally will not understand until you have your own. My voice cracked a little bit. And the next thing was, how was the labor? How was the pain after labor? That was by my friend Nuri. And then someone else asked, what did you find was a little scary to you while being at the hospital? I think it was just really the epidural thing. I was terrified to get the epidural because I also heard you have a percentage. Of course, there's always a percentage of something. There's nothing 100% in life that you can go paralyzed. So, and to top it off, I forgot to mention actually that my anesthesiologist poked me not once but twice. So, and it's like some weird pain. So they like do it on your spine, and it's like they put a needle, and then whatever they do next, it's like you feel pressure on your back, like right up your spine. That's like super uncomfortable. And the thing is, since I was already in so much pain, like when your contraction comes, you're like in so much pain, you're like trying to move and like breathe. And so I was afraid that I was in so much pain. The nurse was like, I was like holding her hand so tight while the anesthesiologist was doing it. I was like breathing so hard and like trying to not move because I was terrified of getting paralyzed. So much talking. So like that's what honestly I think the scariest thing was for me. And the last question is, what was the first sign you knew you were in labor? That was the sign. I woke up with my water broken. So, like I said, everyone's experience different. I just know I saw some YouTuber just give birth today, the 13th of March, and she said that she went into the hospital with really bad contractions already, but when she got there, she was already 4 or 5 centimeters dilated. So I'm telling you, everyone's story is different. So and that was from Zuli. I don't really know, girl. I mean, everyone's different. Just your doctor also tell you look for signs if your water breaks, if you're contracting, or if you're having the bloody show majorly. That usually means also that most likely your mucus plug broke. So I had them that Thursday, and the prior Thursday, which was, I don't know what day that was. Let me see. That was the had on the 13th. So the 6th, I had a doctor's appointment, and my doctor stuck his hand in there and checked to see if I was any centimeters dilated. And I think when he did that, it like triggered my area up there. And the next day, I ended up losing my mucus plug. So everyone's mucus plug will look different. Some will be bloody. Some will look green, yellow. They look like big fat boogers, and the size also varies. Mine was like pretty decent size. I would say like maybe like the size of my finger. I'm using this finger because girl, my nails are busted. But anyways, it was like a pretty thick, decent size. I would say maybe like 2 raisins, 3 raisins put together. It wasn't that big. Some are huge, some are different colors, and like I said, some come out bloody also. So just kind of giving you different scenarios here. And that's pretty much all. I hope that I got through all the questions for sure, but through everything overall, how my whole experience went piece by piece. I did take a radio with me, my little, I think it's a JBL 3 clip, and I played my own soothing music, because when I was contracting, when I was actually starting to get worse and worse, I just really wanted to like help my body soothe itself. So and I had dimmed off one of the lights. But I ate Burger King while I was there. I ate different stuff while I was there. So I mean, I was chilling for a long time, honestly. But yeah, I hope that this answered your guys' questions and how I felt about everything. Going into like that morning when I was being driven to the hospital, I was so scared. I feel like every woman for her first child is just scared. Your experience, it's just, you'll never know. And overall, like the whole idea of birthing 10 inches, like the size of the head, that's what you have to open up to, is like nuts to think that a woman's body can do that. But I mean, damn, girl, at the end of the day, that's what our bodies are made for. I mean, Mother Nature made us this way. So at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, this pretty much wraps up this whole video for the most part. I'm trying to like think if there's anything else. I know I keep mentioning stuff here and there, and like it's probably throwing you guys off like, wait, what? But it's just, it was a really long experience, 28 and a half hours later. And then the next day they were also running tests. I forgot to mention. So the next day, which was Valentine's Day, they were running tests on my baby because of the whole infected placenta and all that. My white blood count was high, and then it disappeared as well. My fever had instantly disappeared like 2 or 3 hours after birth. So they were mostly concerned about the baby. They were taking like culture tests, and then after the hour to hour that they were checking him for the fever, they were checking him every 4 hours for like the next, I don't know how many hours, and that was by the armpit. And then by like the second or third checkup by the armpit, they were like, since it was every 4 hours, they were like, we're good, like we're not going to do it. So by Saturday we were good. They were not running any more tests on him. So yeah, at the end of the day, my baby came out healthy, and I'm super blessed and thankful. I can't say that enough. Like, that's just something I feel like women also stress about when they're pregnant. It's like, am I gonna have him natural? Like, is he gonna come out good? He passed his hearing test. What else? I don't know, he was just great. The nurses said he was great. They loved him. They took him a bath for me too. Super nice. But he did take his first bath, according to me, here at home also when we brought him back. So yeah, I don't know. It's an experience I literally cannot explain. And if you're a mother already, or you're going to be a mother, it's just go with the flow. At the end of the day, just remember, it's in God's hands, and the baby calls the shots. So as long as you and the baby come out fine, you really shouldn't be worried about anything. The doctors already know what they're doing, so just safety, prayers, and yeah. Well, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this long video, but hopefully it was pretty in-depth, because I really wanted to sit here and explain to you guys like the whole feeling of everything. Although I wasn't feeling anything for such a long time, I mean, yeah, I'm ready for baby too. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I'm gonna say bye now, because if not, I'm gonna just keep talking. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.